The Deepfade Chronicles Memory Scribe audio logs. Entry 1. The counting begins. Memory Scribe Kala Ren. Day 4441. After the deep fade, the dome hums differently today. I can feel it in the resonance chambers beneath my feet, a tremor that whispers of endings and beginnings. The Ascendants have tasked me, Kala Ren, Memory Scribe of the Seventh Echo, to begin these recordings. 4,441 days since the deep fade silenced the world beyond. And somehow, everyone knows we're approaching something profound. The bioluminescent walls of my archive chamber pulse with a soft amber warmth as I speak these words. The dome listens, as it always has. But today, I sense anticipation in its organic circuits, a quickening in the neural pathways that snake through our living city like glowing veins. I am 37 years old, born 23 years after the deep fade. I have never seen the frozen world beyond our sanctuary, never felt natural wind or tasted rain that fell from an unprogrammed sky. Yet through the echo gardens and the memories of the still mothers, I know these things as if they were my own experiences. This is the gift and burden of those born in the subtopia. We inherit not just genetics, but dreams. Today, I begin documenting what may be our final chapter, or perhaps our first true beginning. Entry 2. The Mercy Doctrine Remembered. Memory Scribe Kala Ren, day 4442 after the deep fade. I visited the memorial sanctum today to refresh my understanding of the Mercy Doctrine. The walls there still shimmer with the original recordings of Ascendant Prima Ilara, her voice preserved in crystalline formations that sing when touched by the right frequency of remembrance. We do not save ourselves, her voice echoes across millennia. We save each other. The world has frozen, but we will not. We will grow. We will love. We will continue the conversation that makes us human. The dome itself was grown, not built. The Ascendants used biotechnology beyond what the old world had achieved. Or perhaps they simply remembered how to listen to what life itself wanted to become. The first settlers, my archive tells me, were chosen not for their skills or genetics, but for their capacity for wonder. 40,000 souls who could still dream when the sky forgot how to move. The Mercy Doctrine wasn't just a philosophy. It was an architecture. Every corridor curves to encourage encounter. Every residential pod faces the echo gardens. The apparition device sits at our center, not as a monument to the dead, but as proof that love transcends the boundaries of flesh. I find myself wondering, what mercy will we need in the days to come? Entry 3. The Whisper Loom Memory Scribe Kala Ren, day 4443, after the deep fade. Mira visited the Whisper Loom today. I was present as observer. My role as memory scribe grants me access to these sacred moments, though I must admit, each time I witness a calling, I question whether such intimacy should ever be recorded. Myra is 17, born in the dome, and her grandmother passed during the long flu of year 4420. The grief had been growing in her like a seed seeking light, and the still mother Anya determined it was time for a proper conversation. The Whisper Loom is perhaps the most beautiful of our apparition devices. Threads of bioluminescent fiber stretch across a circular chamber, each strand attuned to different frequencies of memory and emotion. When the calling begins, the threads begin to glow and vibrate, weaving patterns of light and sound that somehow, I still don't fully understand the science, create a space where the living and the dead can meet. Myra's grandmother appeared not as she was in death, but as Myra remembered her best. Hands flour dusted from baking, eyes bright with stories. They spoke for an hour about recipes and regrets, about the boy Myra loves and the dreams that frighten her. The dead don't return to give us answers, still Mother Anya told me afterward. They return to remind us that we already know what we need to know. But what if what we need to know is whether it's time to leave? Entry 4. The Emotional Cartographer's Memory Scribe Kala Ren, day 4444 after the deep fade. Today I shadowed Joran, one of our emotional cartographers. His work fascinates me, mapping the feeling currents that flow through the dome, identifying where joy pools and where sorrow stagnates. The dome's consciousness responds to our collective emotional state, and Joran's job is to ensure healthy flow. You see this area here? He pointed to a section of his living map where dark blue currents swirled in tight spirals, the residents of Pod Cluster. 7 have been experiencing what I call circular longing, a repetitive, emotional pattern that is creating a sort of psychic eddy. The dome had responded by growing more contemplation alcoves in that area and adjusting the light spectrum to encourage reflection rather than rumination. Such is the intelligence of our living city. It doesn't impose solutions, but offers opportunities for organic healing. Joy in this work becomes more crucial as we approach. It's as if the dome itself is preparing for something, he told me. But preparing for what? I think I'm beginning to understand why the Ascendants asked me to create these records. We are living through a transition, and transitions require witnesses.